Thank you for tuning in. This show is made possible by going to and clicking on the links at DNF Tool Drawer, heading over to DNF Swag and picking up some of the cool 5-star apparel, as well as the loyal monthly Patreon fans at patreon.com/5star. Boom! Just like that.
Wow.
Yeah, got to work on it, but not bad for like the first shot. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Tonight is the first time in the history of the Monday night show that we've simulcasted both Facebook and YouTube. We're trying out something neat. So for those of you guys that like to watch the show Tuesday morning, please feel free to watch it on Tuesday morning if you like. However, if you'd like to be part of the show, well, it's and you're not a Facebook guy, because we know some of you guys aren't. We just wanted to see what would happen if we move them together. So we'll see how it goes.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Wow.
I took it out of my ear. So
I know. I see. It's okay. It's okay. We got a great packed show for you tonight. We have new products from Maestro that we're going to talk about here in a couple minutes. Before we get to that, let's get the first guy out of the way.
Yeah.
Where is it at here? Boom. We'll throw that ticker up. Check out MorelHiFi.com for the best in sound audio performance. This first section of the show is going to be brought to you by Morel Hi-Fi. Now, we do this little thing over on the interwebs called the 12-volt Clean Wire Club.
That is correct.
And it is on Facebook, which is why we talk about it on this show. For those of you guys that are not members, I apologize. You could become a member. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
Every month, though, or every week, Fernando just digs through and tries to find the absolute coolest entry. And this week is no different. Let's head over here to camera 2. What do we have, Fernando? Who brought us this?
This one is Mighty Mike.
Mighty Mike?
Mighty Mike.
Mighty Mike is definitely a fan of the Zip Tie Nation.
Yes, it is.
And I like what he's done with the JL amplifiers, because the one complaint I have, I love these VXI amplifiers. Yep. I really do. However, those giant 1980 printers cables with RCAs terminated all at the same length just kind of, So he has tucked them up behind, which is what I would do. And just get them out of the way so you don't have to see the ugliness in them, and just show the stuff that looks pretty.
Yes. That looks great.
Yeah, he did a wonderful job.
I like it, yes.
So congratulations. And you too could be featured in the 12-volt Clean Wire Club just by posting your stuff. As Fernando would like to say, keep it to a minimum amount of pictures. We don't need 27 pictures of every angle. Just give us your best 3 to 5 shots. And hey, listen, if for some reason your picture gets unaccepted, don't take it the wrong way. Don't for the love of God, don't try to message me and ask me what happened, because you'll probably be ignored
or clamped.
Because I don't look at any of them. So you're falling on deaf ears here. But I leave it to the admins to take care of stuff like that. Yeah. And if they don't like,
just blame me.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, don't blame me. I only say that because somebody did that, and I'm.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Hey, Dean.
What am I? And I'm like, it's, and then they called us a few choice names because we didn't like the way they did their install. Yeah. And it's like, hey, I'm sorry. Not everyone is gonna make it. And it's okay. It's okay. Now we go to the install bay for Dean and Fernando.
There you go. Ooh.
109 Fort Worth, dude. I know, man. It's this summer. Boom. Atlanta tuning in. What's up, Scott?
What's up, man?
Have any of you guys, just off topic here for a minute, have any of you guys been watching what's happening over at Lake Mead where the Hoover Dam is? Like, have any of you guys been following that? Like how low Lake Mead has become? It's scary. And global warming is not a thing, but apparently they're running out of water, and we don't know why. I mean, for some of you guys out there, it's probably the president because he's responsible for everything. But wow, it's pretty scary. But if you get a chance, definitely go over, or if you're on YouTube after the show, just type in Hoover Dam and whatnot and check it out because
All right,
it's
so
alarming.
explain me this.
Monday on YouTube. All right, so what we try to do, is not a lot of people like when we started this show like 6 or 7 years ago. It was a Facebook show. Like we were big into Facebook. We thought it was gonna be, and it was for a great long time. But Facebook has been slowly but surely, people have left the platform, and it's one of those things where, I mean, if you look at the feed right now, we're looking at the feed, and 90% of the people here are from YouTube, and that's okay. So we know we record this show and we rebroadcast it on Tuesday, and it works out for us because we can put in a little different format. We can, you guys that watch it, you know what it looks like, and we just wanted to see what it looked like or how you guys would react if we went on Monday, if we shared it both on Facebook and YouTube, and then did away with the rebroadcast because it's being broadcast live. We know that some of you will still watch it at first thing Tuesday morning when we put it up at 5:30. But if you can watch it now and be part of the, because some of you guys only get the Saturday show because you don't have Facebook accounts anymore. So
Facebook?
Exactly. So we just wanted to try it out. We're going to try it out for a couple weeks at the beginning. We cut up, we made a quick intro for all the Patreon people because the Patreon people always get mentioned in the rebroadcast. So at the beginning of this show, I made sure that they were all still there. So a lot of the things that we do in the rebroadcast, we did in this. But we just want to see how it goes. And see what happens. Go for it, Dean. I mean, it's either that or just totally do away with the show, which I really don't want to do. I like it better on YouTube. And we
that was the reason for it.
Yeah, we kind of figured most of you would. So we're going to try it out for a couple weeks. Obviously, we'll improve upon it as we go to make sure that we don't lose anything that we would normally have in the rebroadcast of it. And just kind of, take it for what it is. I felt the same way about VXI pigtails. They're a cool concept, but I don't like things wired friendly. Friendly in my opinion. And there again, I love the amplifiers. I just don't like if they would stagger the outputs, that would be awesome.
It is, yes.
It's what happens. What's a decent RTA mic for either Android or iPad iOS software? I mean, Audio Control makes the U-Test mic and the I-Test mic. I'm thinking that's going to be the high bar as far as what you could go with. Those are they make that mic for Studio 6. That's right. Audio Control actually makes the mic. Chris Bennett, who's in the comments there, when he used to work at that company, when we did our tour, it was like, holy crap, you guys make these mics? Yeah, they're right here. These are the guys. They're actually building a new location to build the mic. So, and then, of course, Dayton makes their mic, which is like $25. Andy Waymeyer has his mic for Audio Frog that is designed to plug into your laptop, and you can use REW. So there's a couple of them out there at various price points that allow you to do different things. Sup. All right, so what do we got? We'll answer a few more questions. At the 15-minute mark, we'll head over and we'll take a look at the new Maestro stuff that I've been teasing because you guys are going to like this. Any word on the Stinger Elevate? Will they make kits? The Elevate is unfortunately end of life.
Yes.
It's done. Thank you very much. We tried. We failed. I thought it was an interesting looking radio, but most people at the company did not. And so in order to kind of focus on one thing, they did away with the Elevate because the price difference between the Elevate and the High 10 wasn't that big. And it was a lot of money on the other side developing different dash kits.
Yeah, that's true.
Those JL connectors remind me of the old Phoenix Gold connectors. I'm not familiar with those. What was Chris's original comment up top?
Let's see.
Because you totally missed it. There it is right there. No, up, middle of the page, right there. It's hello, Tennessee. Question: when I turn gain up to 4-channel 360, oh no, this might even, but this is different Chris Bennett.
Yeah.
Wow, it might be two. All right, so
Not really.
when I turn gains up on 4-channel 360.4, that's a kicker. 4-channel F150 regular cab, new kicker front rear 5 1/4. Is there a question in there? I don't think there's a question in there. I don't see the question.
No, I don't see the question. But
I don't see.
So, do you turn the gains on the amplifier?
Turn them down.
Turn it down.
Yep.
And
Okay. Moving down.
all the way down.
All right.
All right.
We'll go with that. Thoughts on the kicker RT subs? Think of running 4.8 sealed off of a kicker IQ 1000 amp in a 2021 F-150.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
RTs are nice, shallow. So a couple things to think about in the 2021 F-150 is if you're willing to raise the seat or even go underneath the seat, Fox Acoustics makes the Fox box that'll fit a normal size woofer up underneath your seat. So you can fit like an Alpine R-Type. Kicker Comp R will fit up underneath the seat, 10 very easily. So there is options other than just going with 8s. 8s are nice. There's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
However,
And this question is going to be probably the same way, where can I find a subwoofer enclosure for a 2015 Toyota 4Runner this time?
That's what are you trying to do? Are you trying to put it into the factory location? If you are, okay, so there's a box. All right. If you're looking to go into the factory location, try checking out a company called SRQ Customs.
Mm-hmm.
That's SRQ. They're here in Sarasota, Florida. He does a lot of those tucked hideaway boxes, stack fab style. He may make that box to go into that factory location. Of course, JL has their boxes. They might make a stealth box to go into the factory location.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, a 112 ported just sitting back there is going to be the loudest thing if you're looking to go small, and or something maybe 210 downfiring. So if you still want to keep the height, why is that going crazy over there?
It's not all the way in.
I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Right.
Weird.
You might be common ground.
I know. Can you use a DSR1 on a car even if Maestro doesn't make a harness for it? Yeah. So the DSR1 has 3 capabilities right out of the box. It is really the only successful DSP that is RR capable. However, its intended purpose is 4-channel, high-level or low-level input. So it has inputs for 4 RCAs, so front and rear, or front and sub, or whatever. Both high-level or low-level. So there's a switch on the side to switch between the two. But yeah, if you only have 4 channels of output that you need, it has 8 channels of output out of the DSP. But yeah, you can plug it in and go. It's kind of like the trifecta of doom as far as DSPs go, in that you can put it in anything. It's kind of nice. Does anyone make a standalone Class A tweeter amp? I don't really. So, all right. If you look at like a Moscone, high bias Class A amplifier.
Yeah.
You have the Audison 5.1K,
yes,
which is high bias. They call it A on the front 2 channels of the 5-channel amp, because it's a high bias. This thing is just not having a good day here.
No, it's not. Maybe it's just switching.
Oh, maybe it's just because it's sitting like that.
All right.
Or maybe not. Maybe this HDMI just sucks. Anyways,
yeah.
So you have the 5.1K, which is the Audison, which is a high bias front channel, an AB class rear channel, and then a sub Class D. You have the uranium ground zero amplifiers that have variable bias. So on the 4-channel and the 6-channel, you have variable bias on those. So you can go full bias on channels. And if you want to see a review of that, check out Car Stereo Labs. We just did a review a couple months ago on the uranium 6-channel, where we went full high bias on the tweeters. And basically what I mean by bias is you're actually telling the output devices how much you want them to stay on over the crossover point. Now, to understand what I mean by crossover point, a lot of people engineers don't like to use the term crossover point when describing a filter, a low pass or high pass filter. A crossover point is when the positive output device crosses over the 0 point and turns on the negative output device. That point where those two output devices are turning on and off is actually the crossover point in an amplifier. The other things are filters. So when you have variable bias, it's the ability to turn or adjust, I should say, that crossover point, meaning when does this turn on and when does this turn off. So at Class A amplifier, these output devices never turn off. So you have no switching sound whatsoever, and they get really freaking hot and they consume a boatload of power. So when you have an AB class with variable bias, you can adjust that crossover point to the point to where those suckers never turn off, creating what you essentially would have as an AB or an A class amplifier. And they are very hot, as Fernando found out when
Jeff found out.
Jeff, yeah.
Boom.
When Jeff was helping Fernando tune his car, and he Indiana Jones the top of that thing to see how hot it was, and he was like, "Ow!" Yeah. So they get super hot.
Super hot. That's true.
Because those output devices are never turning off. But those are 3 amplifiers that you could check out if you want something like that. The nice thing about that is that you can turn the bias down on all the other channels so that you're.
All right, last question before we go to this.
I flashed my IR, hooked it up, but the steering wheel controls don't work. Any idea how to fix that issue? F-150 regular cab 2013. So the RR steering wheel controls are done over data, meaning the 4-pin plug that plugs into the back of the radio, if it's an RR radio or what control your steering wheel controls, there's no reason. I have never ran into a situation where they wouldn't work. A lot of people think that the little 1/8-inch headphone jack that comes out is the steering wheel control input, and they will plug that into the steering wheel control input, and that will short out the steering wheel control inputs on the back of the radio, thus making the steering controls not work. So if you accidentally plugged in so there's 2 aux looking cables, one with a blue and yellow stripe, which is the steering wheel control cable, and then the second aux, which is actually secondary audio for the vehicle, meaning if it has backup sensors or some form of audio that needs to be retained and passed through the radio. But if you accidentally plugged that into the steering wheel controls, that would be the only thing that would cause your steering wheel controls not to work. So thank you very much. Go ahead and turn off the banner and close that. Hide the current. Hide. Go to the top of the page. Top of the page, right there. Hide. There you go. Slow it down, man. You got this, bro. You got this. All right. As promised, we have some new stuff from. I'm just gonna set this over to the side, and we're gonna hope this stays on. If it doesn't, then we'll just hold them up and pray that this all works good. Why is this giving me? Did it finally die? Oh, I see what the problem is. It's actually here. You didn't plug that in all the way. Okay, cool. All right, so as you guys know, iData makes the RR, which is the Universal Radio Interface, and they make these cool cables like this that allow you to plug into your car. So you, from a dealer standpoint, I have to stock one brain, and I can stock a bunch of cables. And this, for those of you guys that do Nissan, this is the new Nissan harness that we've been waiting for. So if you have a Nissan that has multi-camera that is controlled from the radio, this will allow you to keep your Nissan's multicam. So for all you guys that are waiting to add a radio to your Nissan, but you haven't done it because you're afraid of losing the multicam, not a problem anymore. You can do it with this new HRNI1. All right. Now, if you've never seen it, iData has got to plug into the OBD2 on pretty much 90% of the installs. If there is a backup camera, such as in the Nissan, a lot of the times there will be multiple plugs depending on which Nissan you have. And in Nissan, apparently there's quite a few to choose from. And there's a lot of Nissan adapters. The other thing too is if you have Nissan Bose, comes with the adapters for Bose. So these are essential in order to get you to do that. Now, the other thing, I'm sorry, I keep saying now. One of the things that they really got tired of doing is watching me do videos of tearing their harness apart and redoing it because I didn't like the way it was done. So when they showed me the new samples for these, they were like, hey, check this out. Please stop tearing our harnesses apart. We've done what you wanted us to do. And I was like, that is freaking awesome. So this would be what would plug into the back, into the radio, click. Then we have a harness here that goes off to the RR, which can now be tucked away. And we have this nice long addition here. So essentially we have this nice V-shaped connector that will no longer, I won't have to cut these apart anymore. So I'm really happy. But I'm going to sneeze. And if I say it, I won't. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Okay, now. All right. Ooh, sorry. Anyways, if you look at the end here, this is kind of weird, right? This isn't normal. Normally, we'd have a bunch of wires here that we could connect to. So let me show you a close-up of this. These all out of the way. And go to camera 4. So as you can see here, this is what is now on the end of the cable. And some of you might go, oh, that looks like a radio plug for something that's not my radio. And you'd be right, it is. So the reason why that is there is because they made these guys, the Sony one, the Kenwood 2, the Pioneer one, the Alpine one, and the Kenwood one. Now we'll grab one of these. Pioneer's popular, so I'll pull one of these out. And this is the standard Pioneer cable right here. Now they're going to make more, so like if there's different ones that you need, and what this is designed to do.
Let me see the camera so they can see closer.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going
4
here.
All right. So what this is designed to do now is it has the female end to this. You clip it onto here, and you plug this back into your Pioneer radio, and you're done. If you grab, let's say you have an Alpine, you plug this into your Alpine, and you're done. Now, if there's a unique wire that you need to hook up, it'll be here for you to do that too. But that's it. So this will plug into it, and you're all set. For those of you guys that are Kenwood fans, we'll open one of the Kenwoods. Pull that out. Here you go. Kenwood. Plug in. It's got your cool steering wheel if you're going to be doing non-RR style connection. And of course, you have your parking brake and your reverse because some of the Kenwoods have those built into the back of them. So you need these outputs to go off to the back of the radio. But all you have to do now is plug this into your car once you flash the unit, and you're all done. That's it. Done deal. Easy peasy. So you don't have to do any soldering. You don't have to do any nothing. All you have to do is plug these into your car now, and your installation is over. That's it. How cool is that?
I like it.
Now, for those of you guys that have been in this for a while, you might say, well, somebody else used to have it. They did, but their patent expired, so now we can do this. And it's all about how fast can you put a radio on the dash, because we all want to move on and do cooler things. So for now, how do you... Yeah, the patent is expired, so they can do whatever they want. Kutcha is going to eat these up 100%. Yeah. And so are a lot of dealers, because think about it, Ada. I mean, if you hand this to your guy, he doesn't have to sit there and solder now, and he can do more radio installs. So, and it's not that much more, and you don't have to worry about it. So you don't have to worry about it if you got the whites and the white-black stripe right. You'll still swap them. I'll still wrap them in test tape. I mean, let's be honest. Now, how do you tell if your harness that you buy is compatible with this? There's two things that you have to look for. As harnesses start to change, they're all going to have this H in there, which means harness ready. Or on the case of the Audi, it has this logo here on the bottom. So the Audi harness came out first, and they put this logo on there, and they figured, you know what? We really want to change the part number so people don't get confused. So the second thing to come out was the Nissan, which got the H. So as the older harnesses move out, they will all be replaced with HR harnesses. So if you go out and buy a GM today, it's not going to have these. They're not available yet. 2-3 months from now, they'll totally be available. Dean, what about a Kia Forte? They do have Kia harnesses now for both replacing the radio. Those are up there somewhere. So the Hyundai Kia harnesses exist. They're these. So you can head over to idatalink.com or maestro.com and check out to see what you got. But I know a lot of you guys like to do this stuff by yourself, and the harness is one of the scarier parts of it for sure, because you don't know what all those silly colors, I mean, it's a freaking rainbow here, go to. So this will just make it one step easier for you. And then maybe I don't have to fix it later.
That's great. Yeah.
Let's put all this stuff back in the box.
iDataMaestro.com.
I'm really excited about this Nissan.
That's awesome. I like it.
Yeah, I'm sure most people don't know, and they're the only ones. Like this is the only Nissan harness that can do this. So
yes,
a lot of people are nervous about Nissan because they're like, oh, you're gonna lose all your cameras and stuff. Nah, not anymore. So
all
right, moving on. Thank you guys so much. Before we go any further, we need to do one thing because we're at the next point. Hold on, escape. Go over to this, and I will pull media, and I will go to here, and I'll pull this up, and I'll say, well, wrong button. I didn't want to do that. Sorry. Hey, guys, have you heard of audio control? We've only mentioned them once so far on the show, which just seems so out of character.
Yeah.
One of the things that somebody asked about was an affordable mic to use. And, hey, we have those. Grab your eye test mic real quick. The other day, Fernando and Jeff were sitting in the car, and they were tuning. And Jeff was like, hey, man, I need to know what the natural roll-off point is for these mid-bass in the door, because he was thinking that, you know what, I think your crossover point is a little too low, and meaning on the top side, meaning the tweeter is playing down too far, and it was just kind of throwing things off. And so he's looking at me because he wanted an RTA to adjust it. And he's like, dude, you have every RTA in the world. Which one, just hand me something. And I was like, this, because all you have to do is do this, plug it into the iPad, look down, play pink noise, and everything is wonderful. This is one of our go-to, believe it or not. We have all the RTAs. This is still one that we use a lot. I mean, this is coming out every week because it's just so easy. It's so easy to see what is going on. And like I said, they make two versions of it. If you're an iPhone guy, they have the one with the iPhone N, which is the iTest mic. And if you're not an iPhone guy, then you have the UTest mic. The UTest mic is cheaper because they don't have to use the Apple cable, and it does come with all the ends, USB-C, and all that other fun stuff. I use that mic all the time. It is the most convenient tool in the arsenal when I'm at home and don't want to pull. Oh, yeah, exactly. Hey, do you have an RTA? No. But anyways, head over to audiocontrol.com, check it out, add a tool to your thing, and move on. Okay. What's up, Hi-Fi? Right. We have to figure out a movie for this week. I just watched, you've watched it, but I just watched Jurassic Park last night.
Yeah, you told me, yeah.
Yeah, we should review Jurassic Park if you haven't watched it. I'm sure he's already watched it. He goes and sees everything. Is there much difference between 4-volt and 5-volt head units? A volt. I'm debating between a Kenwood Exelon 7706 4-volt and JVC KW 865 BW 5-volt. The difference between those two really isn't the 4-volt, 5-volt. It's actually the whole preamp section in the 865 is a different preamp section. The 7006, one of my most favorite radios, hands down, love it to pieces. But when you get up into the 865 with the 5-volt, it's a different preamp. Now, is it something you're going to notice altogether? Probably not. I don't think we've ever sat there and done this and been like, oh, yeah, that's terrible. It's the difference between this and maybe that on the gain of your amplifier. But, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the short chassis 7706. It's one of my favorite. However, between the JVC and the Kenwood, take your pick. They're the same manufacturer. A lot of the guts are different. The one thing I really like about the JVC is it has a VU meter screen. I don't know if that one does, but the big one did, and that really, I just had it on the VU meter screen all the time because I'm a sucker for VU meters. When running an Epicenter micro in front of a JL Audio RD1000 JL, say it takes 8 volts of input. What do I see the output voltage on the micro? 5 or 7.5? Leave it at 5. Leave it at 5. Don't. I know it has those. Just leave it at 5. I don't know why they. Yeah, I mean, I know why they put those in there, but that's really, your application is really not why that was put in there. So normal situations, just leave it at 5 volts. Even though your amplifier can take more voltage, it's really kind of not what they had in mind when they put that in there. So just leave it the way it is and you'll be all good. New F250s. Do you run power to the passenger side or driver's side battery? Most of the time we're doing the driver's side. Because it's just a big piece of wire between the driver and passenger side. But yeah, I think every single time we've done the driver's side.
Every time.
Yeah. So
yeah, for me, it's harder to run it to the passenger side. I mean, you can get it through, but it's just.
No. What he's talking about is, in the F250s, they have the 2 batteries.
Yeah.
Not getting it through the firewall. What he's talking about is once you're in the cab, are you going to this battery or that battery?
And this battery.
Yeah, that'd be the driver's side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You got to read them.
No, but I'm just saying you can get in through the passenger side.
Well, no, but he wasn't worried about it. He wasn't worried about doing that because we all know what a pain in the butt it is to get through the passenger side firewall. That's forget that crap.
All right.
I have a Hiphonics 2400 watt amp. I feel like when the bass knob plugged in, total output or loudness of sub is reduced. Is this common? No. That's kind of weird. That is kind of weird. Maybe, I mean, there's a chance it's a bad bass knob. I don't know how they're designed their bass knob. So a lot of the times in these amplifiers, the bass knob signal, it literally goes out of the amplifier all the way up to the attenuation knob and then all the way back into the amplifier. So like it's like a whole nother RCA that's passing through as opposed to just an attenuation circuit. So I will say this, do me a favor, pull up the audio control bass knob.
All right.
There it is, accessories.
Uh-huh.
Click on it. It's in accessories.
Yep. Share one?
No. It should be, keep going, right there. ACRU. So audio control makes a universal bass knob, which is this guy right here, which is I'm still not sure. Yeah, great, Siri. Anyways, this universal bass knob is made to mount by the amplifier or wherever you want it to mount. It's an RCA in, it's an RCA out, and it takes a Cat 5 connector and goes off to the bass knob. So you can essentially make it as long as you want. So if you're fearing that the bass knob in your system isn't what you're hoping for, this might be something you want to think about adding to it. And the other nice thing about this bass knob is it's a perfectly linear bass knob. So 0 all the way up to max volume is linear as opposed to like a half pike skateboard ramp, which is what a lot of them do. And that might be what the problem is that, when you didn't have it plugged in, it worked linearly with your volume knob. And now that you do have it plugged in, it's doing some of this half pike stuff, which is like until it's all the way up, it's not as enjoyable as it was. Maybe, I don't know. It would be cool if they finally came out with a Honda one that took advantage of the digital out on the radio. So we know that, they know that. What we think the problem is with that is it's not necessarily taking advantage of the digital out on the Honda is already there. You can do it. Metra has it. You can literally just plug in a Fakra style digital adapter to it and get the boom. Where you run into a problem is it screws up your Bluetooth big time, because the noise canceling, from what we can surmise, is getting screwed up because it is done in the factory amplifier. So you can buy the Metro kit, put it in, get your digital out. Sounds amazing, like woo. However, you won't be able to use CarPlay anymore because you get an echo, and it's like an echo in an infinite chamber. It just echo, 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 because there again, that noise canceling circuit is gone. So until someone can figure that out, I think that's where we're at. And everyone that I talk to about it is kind of, is there any amplifier integration options for the Explorer equipped with B&O garbage? Yeah, there's actually 4. The most popular one up until now was Nav TV, had the Zen BO, or Zen A to B. I'm sorry, Zen A to B, because the BO system is done on a network called A to B. And so you had the Zen A to B. Mobridge makes one called the Mobridge A to B. PAC has one that's coming out, and it should be here sometime in August. And then, of course, Metra also makes one. Hide the current thing. And for those of you guys that are interested in that, you could head over to, these are the companies I just talked about. So these are all their links if you want to take a screenshot on your phone right now. And then you can, visit one of those and check it out. But yeah, so there's a blue USB cable that's plugged into the side of the amplifier. That's your A to B connection. It'll plug into one of those devices and give you a bunch of preamp outputs. It's pretty cool. Any idea why I can't hear cell phone calls after installing a VXIF 2015 F-150, non-Sony, everything connected fine, plays music, caller can hear me, but I can't hear them? That's an interesting one. So let's think about this for a minute. VXI amplifier connected to a Ford F-150. Have you checked your balance and fader? First things first, like if I got, like you parked out front, the first thing I'd do, I'd get in the car and check the balance and fader and make sure that it went front, rear, left, right, because that immediately is going to tell me what could possibly be the problem. The VXI amplifier in the actual setup portion of it has all these little directions of where sound is supposed to go. And if you got that wrong, which is super easy to do, then that might be why you're not hearing them. So the first thing I would do is check balance and fader and make sure that it works. If it isn't working, then go back into the setup of the VXI amp and like that's where it's screwed up. Because Bluetooth talking should come through, or it comes out of the radio out of front, left, and right. So the fader would be the best indicator to find out. Otherwise, there'd be no reason why it wouldn't work. It has nothing. It's a speaker level input, so it's not any. It can't be anything else.
All right.
Hey guys, my wife drives a 2015 Toyota Camry, factory setup, but she wants more bass. So my question is there a rear speaker full signal? No. In a 2015 Camry, you're going to want to grab one of the front speakers. So the easier one to grab is probably the front passenger. Maybe the front driver. It just depends on what's up in that kick panel. Mm-hmm. We typically go to the driver's side just because we're coming up that way anyways. But you want to grab that. That's the speaker you want, not one of the rears. Can I use a DSP with a passive crossover? Of course you can. There's no reason why you can't. If you're interested in doing time alignment, set the time alignment for the mid bass. So measure to the mid bass. The tweeters aren't as important. And then is it going to be like, oh my God, active is obviously when doing a DSP and you're worried about time alignment, can be a little better. It'd be a little tighter and whatnot, but no, we do it all the time. We do it all the time. I mean, 5-channel amplifiers, DSPs, are some of the most popular amplifiers out there. So yeah, we're doing full passive systems with DSPs. Keep in mind, the passive crossover is there to cross over the tweeter and to add a top to the mid bass, not a bottom to the mid bass, meaning not a high pass crossover for the mid bass. So make sure you add that in the DSP. What's up, fellas?
What's
Enjoying
up,
the day. and enjoying my day. Oh, yeah, okay. Nope. Hi, Dean and Fernando. My pregnant wife and I stopped by to meet you both in April. Okay. Our daughter,
awesome.
Ophelia, has since been born. Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
And is in my arms watching with me. I will teach her car audio one day. I hope you get to, man.
That's awesome, man.
Congratulations. Along with so many other things, because, being able to be a dad of a daughter, as, I mean, you have a son, you get to play the son role, but I don't know. Being Haley's dad has definitely been one of the funnest things ever. I've probably ruined her. I'm not going to lie. I probably ruined her for most people because she's just way too cynical. But, hey, it's just more dad thing. 2014 Prius C, looking to run a kicker key 200.4 for speakers and a 200 a key 501 at 1 ohm for a pair of Focal Auditor 10s. Will this have too much current draw, or will I need a bigger? No, you're fine. Believe it or not, those cars, the battery, dude, we ran some really stupid stuff off of those batteries. That little tiny crappy battery in the back of that thing, like stuff I did not want to do at all. But, the customer wanted it.
No, that system is fine.
Yeah, you'll be good. And the amperage draw on those things is so small anyways. I mean, you're going to, you run 1/8 gauge and be perfect. But you're not going to. You're going to run a 10 gauge and an 8 gauge. What size resistor do you use when amplifying aftermarket speakers or keep stock system operational in an 18 Challenger? Well, first things first. I'm not doing high level to low level in those cars. I'm not worried about that. I'm either going to do a pack amp pro, which will plug right into either the factory amplified system or the non-factory amplified system and take care of all those problems. It's going to give me 6 channels of preamp output. Or I'm going to do a Rockford DSR1 with the RR harness for it. The AR harness for it, which will do the same thing. If it's amplified, I need one harness. If it's not amplified, I need a different harness. And it'll reflash the radio to give me 8 channels of DSP'd output with the DSR1. So the problem you're going to run into is that, yes, if you have a 2018 Challenger and you're going to hook up some speakers to it, Audio Control does make the LGD 20s, which are green, and the LGD 60s are for the amplified system. So if you have the non-amplified system, you need green. If you have the amplified system, you need gray. However, the Amp Pro or the AR solution is what you're going to want to do, because the factory EQ and the bass roll off and all the nonsense that's coming out of that sucks bad. And you're just going to amplify something that sounds like crap. So I would recommend going a different way. Where are we at here? So let's turn this. Let's go to this. And the last sponsor of the show is Moscone at Moscone-America.com.
Yeah.
Hey guys, if you're looking for an amazing amplifier, I know we talked about earlier getting a high biased AB class amplifier. Well, Moscone, I'm going to tell you right now, those are some of the ones you might want to look at. They make a slew of different amplifiers from AB class to Class D, from big ones like the new 4/30, which is like 175 watts a channel of full ass. Oh my God, this is a big amplifier sound quality. So check them out at Moscone-America.com. Now, the other thing they do have, which is funny, I know we don't talk about it a lot, but I always thought this was cool. Everyone always wants small stuff. And we talk about the DSR1 a lot, but I just wanted to look at this. This is a DSP. This is a full-on 6-channel DSP. All right, there's your phone test. Look at that. Okay, so definitely dig into the Moscone stuff, guys, because they make some really neat stuff. And what makes this unique is like it has an optical in. This is a fully crazy ass DSP. So check their stuff out, see if there's something there. And we thank them for sponsoring the show. You can find them at Moscone-America.com. All right, moving on. Yeah. Thoughts on Kicker Q class components? They sent us a pair when we did our training.
Yep.
We put them in some boxes. We got to hear them. We haven't had a lot of like experience in the Bay with them because they just weren't anything. To me, the problem with those speakers isn't the sound quality of the speakers. They sound great, hands down, great sounding speaker. Where we run into a problem is that they only make a set of 6.5 coaxials components and 6x9 coaxials. So it's really not a full line of speakers for us to do stuff with. We like a little bit more variety. So it's kind of a bummer because they do really sound good. Mm-hmm. Like when we were jamming out to the set that we got, we're like, holy crap. And even in the Ram, that just had coaxial 6s and coaxial 6x9s.
Yeah, it was.
And, or was it just the 6x9?
It's just the 6.5s in the kick panel. Remember?
Oh no, yeah, that's right. It's literally like one pair of speakers, but they kept up. I mean, holy crap! I mean, it sounded great. So kudos to them. Yeah. So if the speakers, if they make a speaker that will fit your needs, then by all means, you won't be disappointed. Just make sure you have room for the crossovers.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they're gigantic.
All right. I got this one.
When I'm setting up my gains, do I turn subwoofer volume on the Pioneer radio all the way up, or do I keep it at the 0 level? All right. That is a wonderful question. And this is one of those questions that it's like, let's think about it. If you're going to set your gains at 0 dB, meaning you're getting into the car, you're going to set your subwoofer gain to 0 dB, you're going to play a 0 dB 40 hertz track, then yes, you could keep the subwoofer volume all the way down on the Pioneer deck. My guess is you're not going to do that, though, because everybody tells you to play a -5 or a -10. All right, so if you play -5, -10, yes, you have to turn the subwoofer level up, because if you don't and you leave it at 0, that -5 now becomes like -20, and that -10 becomes like -30. And what I mean by that is that you're going to get 30 dBs of distortion, or 20 dBs of distortion, or 15 dBs of distortion. If you're doing it at 0 and you're doing a 0 dB track, well, then you're going to get your 10 dBs of gain overlap when you turn the volume up on the subwoofer level control. So what we like to do is, yes, turn the subwoofer level control all the way up and then set our gains to -10 dB. And what you'll find out most of the time, which is really going to be depressing, is that you're not doing much on the volume control of the amplifier. It's like, okay, well, that's what I'm going to get. So, yeah, your call. Is there a kit to install double dent in a 2020 Challenger?
I think this is 2021.
Oh, 2022. I don't know if I think it's the same dash. I don't think they've changed the dash of the car. So as far as that goes, if you check Metra, I know Metra makes some lower kits. However, Stinger with the high 10 is also working on a kit for that to put the high 10 in it. It's not listed as the 2022 though, so it might be a new dash. I think it's check the 2021.
Oh, 2021 is there.
All right, we'll change it to 2021 because they might be the same dash. I don't know if they are or not. Hold on, I will show you a picture. Yeah, click on it. Boom. So,
taking time.
I know it's their dat. Yep. Okay. So we'll go here. So if your dash looks like that, where it has. Is that the Challenger?
I mean,
that looks like the. Oh man, that looks like the 300.
It looks like a 300. Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. So we got that one.
Yeah, got a bunch of them. Yeah.
It looks more like this.
I was gonna say, I think it looks more like that one.
Right.
So if your dash looks like that, then yeah, you're golden. They make a dash kit to fit it in there. So there again, head over to Stinger. I'm sorry, head over to pack-audio.com. And then give them a call. Give them a call. If they make, oh yeah, look at that. Ooh. Oh, wrong button. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks nice. So there's a whole back bucket for it that snaps into. It's really cool. But definitely check them out and give them a call because a lot of the times what happens is it'll work on those cars, but they haven't verified it yet. So.
Yeah.
Dean, would a kicker key work for a
2022
Ford F350, keep factory screen, amp, etc.? what are we trying to do? If we're just trying to do a front stage upgrade, yeah, why not? It'll work great. If you just want to put in a really nice set of components up front, components up front, tweeter, mid-range. You could add a coaxial to the back, but I'd still leave those powered off the radio. I mean, personally, I wouldn't do anything. I would rather spend $100-$150 on a better set of front speakers, powered off a kicker key. That'd be fabulous. We do that a lot. I know there's a video out there for the F-150 where we've done that. So
you have the amplified system?
Yeah, the amplified system, it's a whole different animal. But the key would work. My 04 Silverado had the Bose system in it with steering wheel controls. The Bose amp and sub got yanked out. Should I run new power and ground wires for the radio, or can I use the factory wiring that got cut? Steering wheel controls and the Bose amp and the sub got yanked out. If we're talking about behind the radio, I mean, if you solder everything back together, it should be fine.
If you would just add in the radio, I mean,
you gotta not talk with your blah. People can't get you. I mean, typically we wouldn't use the amplifier wires for anything at all because they're not enough to do anything aftermarket wise. But like radio wise, yeah, there shouldn't be any problem with that. Should be no big deal. On an F-250, if I run zero gauge power and ground to distribution blocks on the amp rack, can I run 4 gauge to a D6-1200? Yes, you can. The reason why the D6-1200 has a zero gauge input on it is because it shares the same chassis as the 1500, the 1500. That chassis has a zero gauge input. So when they were designing this one, they kept the same inputs. So no, technically on the D6-1200 as well as the D5-1300 or the LC for that matter, it really doesn't matter. You can run a 4 gauge. You don't have to worry about it. Plenty of power coming over 4 gauge. I mean, if it's 200 feet away, no, but yes, you're good.
Right there.
Can I install an EQ even if I have the LC7i and an Epicenter? Yeah. So, I mean, here's all right. Follow me on this. You have an LC7i. It's a great product. Love it. However, if you'll notice right there next to my head, that little white box, it's hard to see. That's the LCQ1. That is a LC7i with 2 7-band EQs and 1 5-band EQ with Acubase for your subwoofer. Pardon me. If you want to add an EQ, I would sell your LC7i and get either the LCQ1, that right there, or the DQ-DX. I'm sorry, the DQ61. The DQ61. Mm-hmm. Okay. The reason why is because if you're just going to buy like one of those inexpensive, let's say $150 EQs, you're going to ruin your system. They all have noise. I don't care. I have not had one come across that doesn't go. And if you have one and you don't have noise, miracle on your end. You got the one that doesn't have noise because they're just not built well anymore. You know, it's not like they care. They don't care. So yes, you can. I would recommend doing it that way because you won't get the noise. Have they came out with a good way of getting sound from a 2019 Accord Touring? They have, but no, because it doesn't work. Earlier in the show, we were talking about it. If it has the digital output, the problem is that if you use the digital output, let's say using the Metropiece, which sounds fabulous, you're going to get echo. They haven't been able to fix it because we're pretty sure that the noise cancellation is built into the factory amplifier, and you're removing the factory amplifier, so you remove the noise cancellation. So we don't know how they're going to fix that. What we typically do in the Accords that have the factory amplified system is we like to sell the Alpine PXE 850X is what it's called. Any DSP that has at least 6 channels of discrete input, or at least has 2 channels of discrete input. So when integrating into the car, you need the front tweeters, the front mid bass, you need the center channel, and the subwoofer. All have to be retained and all have to be amplified after the fact. The reason why we like the Alpine is because there's an 8-channel amplifier built into it that's 25 watts. We use 5 of the channels to power the center and the 4 speakers in the rear, and then we put in either a big 5-channel amp or something along those lines to power the 2 front tweeters, mid-range, and subwoofer. And that's kind of our go-to solution for that car, and we've done a ton of them. We even have a video out on that, I believe. Okay. Can you recommend a 12-inch sub to pair with the X? I think you asked me this earlier
on
today.
Instagram, right?
Currently running an American bass XD. Need bass boost to give it any amount of good bass. So probably look at something that's a little bit more efficient then, because the XD, I'm not familiar with the American bass. Oh, Jesus, reminds me. Bob sent me a picture.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's hilarious. Like, it's so awesome. But probably look at something that's a little bit more efficient, maybe like a Rockford P3 that has a high efficiency, something like a Kicker Comp R. Those both have, very efficient outputs and can give you much more bass, looser suspension, and they'll just make everything more happy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Right. Let me see. I got the other one over here.
Yeah, where did he send me that? I gotta show you guys.
What's your opinion on the Kicker Comp C10 paired with the Kicker CX 400.1?
Did we plug in the?
It's right here.
All right, hold on. All right, hold on. Where's your opinion on Kicker Comp C?
It's awesome.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
Fine.
All right, check this out. All right, hold on. It's 8 up.
So you can remove that one.
Yeah. Hey, we'd like to thank Mosconi for being a proud sponsor of Mosconi.com, MosconiAmeri.com. Boom, check it out. All right, guys, check this out. 8. Let's go to 8. All right, so look at this. These are all American bass. Look at that. Holy crap. Like, wow. That was insanity.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Bob sent me that picture.
That's crazy.
Is the Audio-Tech Fisher match? Somebody's having a bad day. It's raining outside. It's only a matter of time. Match 5.4 DSP powerful enough for a full system as a daily driver. Not interested in SPL. It's only like 120 watts for the sub. So if you get a Rockford P2, I don't know what Helix has for subs. We haven't had time to dig into them, but you want something that's maybe even a P1, where 150 watts to the sub. It's super efficient. It's going to give you a deep bass. It's going to depend on the car also. So like if you have a sedan where the sub is trapped in the back, might not be the best. If you have a truck where it's underneath the seat, you'd probably be okay. If you have some form of a hatchback or SUV, there again, probably be okay as long as it's not like a Tahoe or, so a smaller vehicle. Yeah, I don't see any reason. If you want to see the 5.4 DSP in action, we actually filmed it. I'll have to see where that's located, but we did film it in Larry's Mercedes about 2 years ago. And there's a video up on it that was really cool. Can I use the bass knob and cord off an Epicenter micro on a? No, you can't. You can use the cord, but you cannot use the knob. The knob is not. So the cord is universal. So that's the one nice thing. So like if you have an 810 already ran and it's already got a bass knob in it, you can unplug it from the 810, plug it in the Epicenter micro, plug your Epicenter micro in, and it work. But no, the knob right now, the only product that the ACR4 works with is the Epicenter micro. That's it. The technology, believe it or not, the engineer that had to design that was like, you guys think this was easy? Which you got to interview, and we did an interview with, which is up somewhere on the page, where it was like, because the criteria was we have to keep the same wire, but now we have to do more things over the same wire.
Yeah.
So it wasn't easy for sure. But no, it does not work with anything other than that. Sorry about that. And oh my God, that's it. That's all we got.
No, man.
That's an hour. Hey, we'd like to thank you guys for this first test run of doing the Monday show on Facebook and YouTube. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, the true test will be to see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah.
How many people get mad because it's like, where's the show? And it's like, it's right here. Please.
It's going to be there. So.
Enjoy, comment, let us know what you think after the fact, not now. Let us know if this format works for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to change some things up because there is some advertising stuff that we do on the other thing that we have to figure out how to get into this and not make ridiculous, like not make annoying. But we'll see how it goes. I want to thank you guys so much for playing along with us. Have a great rest of your week. We will see you back here Friday morning at 9 o'clock for the news, as well as Thursday night. You can find me with Hi-Fi Vega over on the Hi-Fi Vega network. And then directly after that, we'll be doing Sidejag, where we're going to talk about movies. It's been 2 weeks between me doing something and him doing something. I think it was both me doing something. So I'm excited to get back into the most serious show about car audio on the internet.
That's right.
So definitely check that out. And of course, we'll be back here Saturday on YouTube. And there again, we might change that one to Facebook too, just to see how it goes. But join us Saturday as always for more Q&A and just a fun time. A fun time. We know you guys. We thank you guys so much for playing along with us. You guys have a great rest of your week. Man, just stay safe, man. It's hot out there. We don't need people passing out.
Bye, guys.
See ya.